The Halifax real estate market is heading into spring, and after a slower than usual January and February, there are some things worth understanding whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or just keeping an eye on things. I'm Cheryl Cook. I love homes. I'm a realtor here in the Halifax area. Let's get right into it. Year to date, as of March 1st, there have been 493 residential sales across HRM. That's down from 567 at the same point last year. We're sitting at 4 to 5 months of inventory, which means we're in a balanced market. The average sale price across HRM so far this year is just over $581,000, and that is modestly lower than last year, which was $593,000. Homes are selling at 97.8% of the list price on average. Last year, that was 98.8%. So sellers are giving up a little more ground, but not dramatically. Days on the market have climbed to just under 62 days on average compared to 57.5 last year. Homes are taking a little bit longer to sell, and that is consistent with what we're seeing on the ground. Now, those are HRM-wide numbers, and HRM is a big place. So let's look at a few individual areas. January data for average sold prices on residential property in Halifax came in around $563,000 on average. Dartmouth, close to that at $550,000. Bedford sitting higher at $687,000, and the average price in Lower Sackville coming in more affordably at $474,000. Same city, very different markets, and that matters a lot depending on whether you're buying or selling, and it's a reason that I say Halifax is a market of neighborhoods. But even within those neighborhoods, you see variation. So within Halifax itself, that can vary greatly depending on the neighborhood, how appealing it is to buyers, how much inventory they typically have there. So that broad picture of HRM is important, but what's happening in your neighborhood is also really important to understand. So January, February, quieter than in recent years. Some of that coming down to balancing the market, seller timing and psychology, and some of that for sure this year has to do with the winter that we've just had, which isn't encouraging anyone to get out and hopefully will be over soon. So a lot of sellers wait listing in the winter where they feel less competition from other sellers, and the buyers who are out there in January and February tend to be serious and motivated. But they'll balance that against a listing in the spring where they see more buyers, more activity, and a home that just is going to show better. There's a reason the spring market is the busiest of the year. It's not just the weather, but homes genuinely look their best when the gardens are coming in, the light is different. And in Halifax, spring activates a military market who want to be done by mid-July. We also have families who are looking to get something after school finishes for the year and be settled before it starts again next year. Bought, moved in, ready for school. That combination of motivated and time-sensitive buyers makes the Halifax spring market pretty active, even with increased competition from other sellers. So if you're thinking of listing this spring, the window is opening now, and getting ready early will give you your best chance. Another thing worth mentioning as we head into spring, and this applies whether you're buying or selling, across Canada, you have a significant percentage of mortgages coming up for renewal over the next 12 months or so. Many of those were locked in when the rates were considerably lower than they are today, and some homeowners are going to find that the math doesn't work for them anymore. Some will manage the adjustments, some will decide the time is right to sell and right size their situation. So what that means in this region is likely a modest but real increase in inventory as we move through the year. Not a flood like we would see maybe in other markets, but definitely more homes coming to market than we've seen in the past couple of years. So for buyers, that is genuinely good news. More choice, more opportunity to find the right home rather than just the available home. For sellers, it means the conversation about pricing, presentation, and positioning matters more. You won't be the only option for buyers to consider. Understanding how your home fits into that changing picture, pricing and positioning it accordingly is exactly the kind of thing worth talking through before you list. Buyers right now are calm and they're doing their homework. They're comparison shopping, they are taking their time, and they have leverage, which means they're going to negotiate. They're willing to walk away if a property isn't right or isn't priced right. And that is a meaningful shift for them from where they were a few years ago, when buyers kind of felt like they had no choice but to jump if a home was available. That urgency is softened. If you're a buyer in this market, you're going to use that. If you're thinking of buying this year, this is definitely the time to reach out to a mortgage broker or lender, make sure you're ready and get pre-approved. And if you're a seller, pricing and positioning is the conversation we're having right now, and we need to be very direct about what that means. Pricing isn't just picking a number, it's about positioning. You have to align with buyer behavior, current competition, and absorption rates. This is where offers are happening. It's about understanding that buyer behavior in your area, what the absorption rate looks like around you, and how well your home presents when buyers walk through the door, and whether the price reflects the reality of where the buyers are. Buyers in the market have done their research, they know what things are worth, and they are not looking to pay a premium for a home that isn't priced right or isn't in a condition that matches the price, and they have other homes to compare it to. So if they feel it's overpriced, they're going to move on to another home. So the first 2 weeks on the market are really crucial for sellers. Testing it to see if your ceiling is where the buyers might be will likely be problematic this spring. The good news for sellers is that this is the strongest selling window of the year in Halifax, and it's here. So if you're thinking of buying or selling this spring or later in the year and you want to talk through what this market means for your situation, I'd love to have that conversation. There's a link in the description where you can reach out to me directly. And if you found this useful, subscribe for more videos on the Halifax and surrounding markets. I'm Cheryl Cook, I love homes, and I'm a realtor with RE/MAX NOVA.